Today, I'm going to show you an agent which is capable of making long form videos on its own without even touching anything. It'll just run on its configured time and it's going to get you views. Let me show you an example. So let's look at this channel, Words of Wisdom. So they upload these motivational type stories in which they just give you life lessons, and it's built by some animation. There's letters, there's words, and the storyline is really great, right? They build stories, and through these stories, they get millions of views. So now let me show you what are we building. So this is our video, and it includes overlays, effects, and all that stuff. And you can get more effects in the community. Let's look at this.
On a time, in a serene valley nestled between two towering mountains, lived a wise old monk named Master Li.
You can
Experience.
see this.
They
We
are
can change images as we
effective
go
to
ahead
understand our
for the
weaknesses.
storyline.
Sometimes, it is through our challenges that we learn the most. When you face strength, but it also becomes a
And this entire video can be created automatically. And you can have as many images as possible, as many transitions as possible. And you can actually create monetization worthy long form videos in any niche. And in the description, I'm going to attach the link to the music and the overlay I've used. So you can use the same and you can add any other setting. So now let's get into this amazing build. Before I show you the exact process of generating everything, let's come to this section, which is run this only once, right? So we need to run this, but you only need to run it once, because what this is going to do is actually that this code with this expression, you can take a screenshot, it's going to make all these folders, right? So we have to initiate these folders. So it's going to make this folder in Docker. So we have the long form folder. Inside there's a Zen codes, there are effect, images, songs, videos, and voiceover. So we're going to use these folders to store our images, our voiceover, the video, the songs. You can add as many songs and anything you like, and the effects, which I'm going to show you later. So when you run this, what it's actually going to do is make these folders, and this is the node to download the song and the overlay, but I won't recommend it. You can just download it directly from this drive that I show you, and you can paste it here, right? So when you paste it here, what's actually going to happen is you'll have all the information there. So now let's go ahead and see this agent. So this is the first node. The first node is this trigger node. So what this trigger node is going to do is you can schedule your video when you want to post it. You can go into your YouTube and see whenever your users are the most active, that's the time you want to post it to optimize everything. So this is the trigger. You can set any time you want. Now let's get ahead into the next node, which is the set video niche node. So you can set the keywords, the number of images, the time to publish, which is the most important thing, which you get from this, right? And this number of images will determine how many images will be in your video. This whole build is super dynamic. That's what's special about this build, that you can specify the images in here, and then throughout the build, even when the video is made, it's automatically going to divide that video into equal sections. For example, if you select 10 images and you make a video of length 10 minutes, each image will take 1 minute. If you make a 5-minute video and you still have 10 images, each image is going to take 30 seconds. So according to the power of your PC and your GPU, and if you just want to give it time, right? So even if you have a slow GPU, but you're ready to commit this build to running this build, it's going to work. So let's get ahead and run this node. So I'm going to run this, and this is going to give me the keywords, the number of images, and time to publish. So let's see the next node. This is the script agent. This agent writes us the best script, and it's going to write a 13 to 1500 word script, which is equal to about 10 minutes. And you can configure this prompt to your need, to your niche, whatever you want. So I'm going to make similar videos to this channel, and you can see it's also monetized to just give you the proof of concept of how it's getting millions of views and how you can too. Right, so this is everything, the entire prompt. You can take a screenshot of it and run it. So when I run this, I have also configured an output parser for this because I need a structured output. I need a title and a script so I can do the other things with it. So let's wait for it. It's going to take about 1 minute to run because we're asking it to give a long script. So it's going to give us the script right here. So it took about 30 seconds, and now we have the script. So let's go ahead and see the code. So what this code does is actually take the script and it refines the script. As you can see, the script has all these characters, right? Because sometimes they break into the speech models and ruin the entire thing. So what I'm going to do is test this. And now you can see it gives us the clean script, which we need to get the text to speech, and it gives you the word count. So you can know what are you dealing with. So now let's run this node. What this node is going to do is actually get all the data we have generated till now to get into Google Sheets. So it's going to get the title, the keywords, the number of images, time to publish, and status. And the reason we're not getting the script is because it's too large. Still, Google Sheets can hold it, but I don't recommend it. If you want to do something, you can store it either locally in Baserow or NoCoDB, and you can still add the script if you want. But I don't do it because it's just too big, and we're wasting a lot of API credits here. So now this is completed running. We have the title, keywords, number of images, time to publish, and the status. Now what we're going to do is take it to Sheets. So here I have the Sheets node configured. And if you want to know how you can create these credentials, you can see my other videos. So I've shown this in at least 3 of my videos, how you can do this. So what I'm actually going to do is select this spreadsheet here, which I'm also going to give you. You can upload it. And you can select the sheet, which is this name here. And after you select the sheet, you can configure all these things. You can add the title, you can add the description, and I'm actually not adding the description here because I'm going to show it to you later. So now we have the number of images, time to publish, keywords, and the status. So when I run this node, it's actually going to get everything to Google Sheets, and it's stored now. So let's go here, and you can see we have the title, description, which we're going to add later, images, time to publish, motivation, hard work is the keyword, and we have the status. And when this entire workflow is done running, it's going to turn it automatically published, which I'm going to show you later. So let's go ahead and see. So here we have this make file name code. So what this does is when we store these images and the videos and the audio later in Docker, so we need to create a separate folder because we don't want to mix everything, right? So we want to have a separate folder for each project. So whenever you run this whole workflow, that is one project, that is one YouTube video, one long form 10-minute YouTube video. So you don't want to mess all these images in just one folder. So what this does is actually makes the folder for you. So you can see in the Zen quotes, there are images, right? So we don't store the images directly. So we store it in the folders. For example, this is one video, Find Your Strength in the Calm Moments, and it has all the images. This is another folder, it has all the images. That's how we're going to store the images. So now we have completed our first section, which is the IDE and script generation. Now let's get over to the voiceover and image generation section. So the first node is the Kokoro TTS node, which I've already shown you how you can install in the last video. You can check that out if you want to know. So we have this post request. This is our URL, and there is no authentication. We just send the body. This is a very simple node, right? We have the model, we have this voice, and this is the clean script. So we give it the clean script, not the dirty one. So now I'm going to run this, and it's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes to complete this whole thing. And if your computer is fast, you're running the GPU version of the text-to-speech, it's even going to take less than 1 minute. So this took about 2 to 3 minutes because I'm running the CPU version, and it's also such a big audio. For example, this is a
In a
10-minute
small
audio.
village nestled
You
between
can
lush
also
hills.
see that it's so big that it's already starting at the end. It hasn't even loaded completely, and you can see. So this is a 10-minute audio. It has already made us the audio. So now what I'm going to do is actually store this audio, right? So we have this separate folder, and the folder name is, I'll let you know in a moment. The folder is You Will Discover Strength You Never Knew, right? So when I run this, it's actually gonna store that in the folder and N10, and then we have these files, and I'm actually gonna go here and see the voiceover, and this is the file that is already made me, right? So this is ready here. So now what I'll do is go ahead and make a new folder. And we're making this folder for the images because we have the general images folder ready. So when we ran this first node that you can see here, this node, when we ran that, we had this images folder created, but we don't have the other images folder inside of it. You only get this name after you have done this whole thing because you don't actually have the name before. You get the name from the script gives the script agent gives you the title and the name, and then you can use that title name to make the folder. So that's why you make this. This is a new folder every time. So here we have this script writer agent, and this agent is going to write us the image script, and this is going to give us distinct prompts for each image. So this is dynamically selected. For example, here you can see I've dynamically added the video tags. So it just gives 10 each time. And if you give 5 in the beginning, for example, the first node, if you select 5 here, it's going to give us 5 here, right? So I have configured it dynamically. So we have then 10 of these, you get all the chunks, and I prompt it correctly to get the prompts, and the separation is correct, and we give it the entire script. So according to the script, it can divide the script in 10 parts. For example, here we have 10. So it's going to divide the script in 10 parts. And for each of those 10 parts, it's going to give us a separate prompt for the image, so we can have a visual. So for example, you can see in these videos, it gives you one visual, and as the story progresses, it gives you another visual. So that's what we're trying to achieve. So when I run this agent, this is going to give us a complete prompt for our images. So this is completed running, and here you can see, so we have this entire JSON file. We have 10 prompts because this is the 10 images. If we give us 20 images, it's going to write 20 prompts for you. So we have prompt 1, 2, and till 10. And this is configured based on the script. So you can have similar elements on the screen and in the story. So it makes sense, right? We don't have random images. So now what this code does is that it splits the prompts. So you have 10 prompts in one of the sections. So you can check the code here. You can take the screenshot, and it's going to take this output here, and it's going to give us 10 prompts. So we can feed it to ComfyUI. And then this is the greatest development of this video from the last one. This is where all the magic is happening. We have completely different ComfyUI setup, and you can see we have these other extra nodes. So I've configured this API and given you the API here. And you can actually take the screenshot. What I'm going to do is try to zoom out and see, okay, so that doesn't work. So this is the entire prompt, right? So this is the first part. You can see till case sampler. Then from case sampler to this, and then we give it the input and select the clip encoding, and you get the script and everything is here. And then you get the decoding, and then we also upscale the images because we need the 1080p images. We need full HD images, right? So this is how the entire script looks. And this is the entire prompt. So you give it the prompt and everything. So now if I just run this, what this is going to do is send this to ComfyUI. And if you want to know how you can install this, I also gave you the tutorial for this in the last video. Check it out. There's a link in the description which tells you everything, how you can install ComfyUI and the entire setup. And there you go. So these are the kind of images it generates for you. And you can see how good these are. Right, these are the painting kind of images that are really trendy. And when we overlay these images with the entire effects that I'm going to show you later in this section, you'll see how great these video turn out to be. Right, so now it's going to take a few minutes depending on how powerful your GPU is, and it's going to make us these images. Right, for me, it takes about 30 seconds to 35 seconds, 40 seconds for some of them. And you can see, so these are completely in relation with the video. So our generation has started, and I'm going to wait for the generation to complete. And you can see how great these images are. These are like the painting style, all the animated, cartoonized images, and these are going to be great for the video, right? So let's wait till all the images are ready. And I have added these dynamic wait times so you can configure them. For example, I just selected 5 seconds here, but you should select the time according to your GPU. If you have a really fast GPU, for example, it makes an image in 10 seconds, and you have 10 images, so it's going to take about 100 seconds. So you can select 150 seconds here. You can just give it 150 seconds or about 3 minutes, so you can be ready and nothing is missed. So if you run this node and all the images are not ready yet, so what's actually going to happen is that you get all the images. So it's going to show you that you have 10 images here, but they will be empty on the inside. So there will be empty objects, and all this workflow will be broken. So run this on your own for once and see how long it takes for you, and then you can configure these 20 seconds, 100 seconds, or whatever it is for you. So now I'm going to wait because I know the images have not generated completely. So half of them are done, half of them aren't. So that gives you the idea how you should set the wait time here. And similar goes for these wait times. So once this is ready, this is not going to cause an issue, but I just added a failsafe here just in case anything fails. So you can just select this to be 3 minutes if it's as fast as me, right? So it's taking me about 40 to 50 seconds for each of them, and you can see how great these images are. And so if that's how long it takes you, you can set 10 minutes here. And the reason it's taking so long is because we're generating 1080p images. We're generating high resolution images in animated and cartoonish style. So you can select these, and I'm just going to leave these to be even less. So I just selected 1 second because the only concern is this node, because this node is going to fetch us the information. Let me run it to show you what I mean. So when I run this, you'll see that it gave us 10 objects. So you might assume we have all 10 images, but let's go ahead and scroll down. So this is the first image. I'm going to shorten it, and you can see we have the first image, second image, third image, fourth image. So now you can see that the fourth image is empty, and all of these are empty as well. So you might be mistaken that you just have 10 images and you can just go ahead and you can see it's outputting 10 here, right? So you can see it's 10 here. So you might get confused, like, oh, they're there, but they're not working. So that's why it's not working, because it has fetched empty objects. That's why you need to configure this wait time correctly. So it's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes more to get all the images ready, as you can see. In that time, let me tell you about our community. So we are already at about 20 members, and you can see all the stuff here. So this was the first one, and I'm currently showing you this long form automation with effects, and you can see everything is here. The agent is here, all the prompts, and how I even made the prompts, all the research prompts, and how I actually trained the script agent to actually give us the output. And then I'm also going to release a great thing. So I'm working on this agent which converts long form videos to short form clips without any external API. So you might have seen some videos on YouTube which tell you how you can do the long form to short form clips automation, but then they just tell you to use this API in that automation, and this is really expensive. So this just lets you do 10 videos of about 45 minutes, which equals 450 minutes, and then that is $23 a month. And that's even when you do the yearly version. So you pay about $270, $280 up front, right? And when you choose the monthly, it's $30. So what I'm going to do is actually show you how you can do it for completely free and locally. And this will only be available in the community. And you can see we have a lot going here, and we're building complete solution, not just random agents of stringing together and just telling you that you can sell it for $2,000 or $3,000 a month. We're going to talk about that in later videos. So let's head back to ComfyUI, and hopefully everything is complete. And you can see how great they are. This is kind of a sus image, but anyways, so this is great. All right, so this is what we want. So now we have all our images ready. So now when I run this, you will see that all the objects are filled. So nothing is empty. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll just basically have 10 images. And now these weights are just there as placeholders just in case something goes wrong. So these are the fail safes. So suppose you gave it 5 minutes to wait. Generally, your computer takes 5 minutes and you entered 5 here. But on some random day, for some random reason, it took 6 minutes. Right, so then it's going to fail. That's why I have these 2 extra waits. So you can just give it 1 or 2 extra minutes. So nothing fails, and you can actually run it on autopilot without any issues. So I'm just going to run these just to demonstrate. I added 1 second here just for the demonstration purposes. And now you'll see this node is going to fetch us the images. So now we have all our images here. So we have all our images, and we can actually save all these images. So now we're going to save all the images locally. So let me show you what the folder is called. So we actually created it here. The folder was You Will Discover Strength You Never Knew. Okay. So now when I run this, you will see that this is the folder. This is the folder, and it's empty right now. So now I'm going to run this. So now it's going to save all the images smartly with the indices. You can see the 1 to from 0 to 9. So we have 10 images. So it's going to go from 0 to 9. So when we make the videos, these are not random names. So that's why this whole thing is so perfect, that it just works. Nothing breaks. So now what we're going to do is find the audio length. Because to make the video, I have the music and I have the overlays, but we need the audio length. So we can divide our images in equal time. And there you go. So the audio is 430 seconds. So that's how long the audio is, which is the voiceover audio. So now I'll get the image path array. Now I'm going to tell you why we convert these 10 pieces of different images into a single array, because that's what needed to generate the video. So this is another great thing we have done in the community. We just build crazy things that actually work. Right. So now what I'm going to do is actually run this node, and you will see that I have all the information I need. I've got the video length, I've got the voiceover path, I've got the image path, I've got the music path, I've got the overlay path, and I've got the output path. And these are all dynamically selected from the actual name of the folder. Right, so let's zoom in and see here. So this entire thing is fetched from this, the voiceover. And the next thing is that all the other subsequent things are dynamically fetched. So whatever the new folder is here, so for this, so one automation equals one folder technically, because we're making one video. So this is going to be dynamically fetched, so you don't have to touch anything. So now we have the image duration. So what this is doing, it's calculating how much seconds you have to show one image. So this is the total duration of our audio, which is 431 seconds. There's actually 430, but when you round it up, because we need to round it up, it's 431. So this is, and we have 10 images. So you divide this by 10 images, and you can see the code here. See, this is the code. We get the input audio length, we have the duration, then we get the actual number of images, then we divide the duration by the number of images, then we get the duration, the total duration, and then we output these in an array. So now we have these two things. So then we give it to this script, which is the greatest thing we have done right yet. So this gets you the exact folder name, the duration, the audio file, the background music, which you can set to anything, but make sure the file is longer. For example, the music that I'm giving you, this audio was just 4 minutes long, but I actually added 4 of these audios in sequence to make it about 16 or 17 minutes, because that's the target we're having, right? So we don't want to have videos longer than that, because anything might not be able to handle it, or it's just going to take too long, unless you have a super fast GPU. So make sure whatever audio you're using here, for example, if you want to select a different audio you get from YouTube, and you don't just want to add the audio in this folder, you can see the audio folder which I have here, the songs. So you don't just want to upload a random 3-minute song. If you want to upload it, so if you want to upload that song, join 3 of those songs together, add some crossfade so you don't see the song is ending and starting, right? So it is completely in sync. And then you write this script, and this is the best script there is. It also adds the fade in effects, fade out effects. It also makes the background image, and it also gets the background audio to 30%. So you can tweak this if you want the audio to be more or less. So I've selected the background audio, which is the music, to be 30%, and the actual audio, which is our voiceover, to be 100%. And this just does the entire thing on its own. So I'm just going to render it. So now it's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes for 5-minute videos, and a slightly bit longer, for example, 4 or 6 minutes for even longer videos. And you can actually see this happen in real time. So I'm going to go here and I'll show you the videos, which is this. And you can actually see our video is happening in real time. So this is our video. You will discover strength you never knew. So as you can see, that is actually 0 bytes right now, but it's actually just lagging. And you can just see we have, and there you go. So you can see our video is forming in real time. So each second, our data is being added. And when it's complete, it's going to just send us the output. And all these videos were about 10 minutes, as I've tested before. So these were about 25 megabytes. So there you go. So now it has stopped working. That means our video is ready. So it took less than 3 minutes, actually. It took less than 3 minutes to make our entire video. And the next step is that you add the overlay, and you can get the script as well. And this is really amazing. So we get the theme, we get the actual video, we set the vignette effect, we get the overlay, we set the chroma key, and we have just done everything here. And you can just copy the script, you can take the screenshot, and now it's going to take our video and add the overlay. And you can actually see here, you'll see the other video forming, which is you will discover strength you never knew with overlay. So everything is already labeled for you, so nothing gets confused. And here you can see it's also happening in real time. It's just going to keep adding, and it's going to be about the same size as the original video, because it's just adding a bit of overlay, nothing more, and a vignette effect. So let's just wait. So now we have added our overlay. It took about 3 to 4 minutes to add the overlay. And if you run it in the background without even opening it or in some kind of separated environment, it's not going to take so long, because I have so many things open. I have these tabs, I have more windows, I have the video recording going on. That's why it's taking so long. So the next step is that you read the video. So we have this video. So you can see it made us the 23 MB video, and you can actually see the video here with the overlay.
In a small village nestled between
There you
lush
go.
hills and
That's how
serene rivers.
great it is. This is exactly like CapCut. So now I'm going to upload this to our S3 bucket so we can add the subtitles here. Because to add the subtitles, you need to get it to the S3 bucket, because that's what the NCA toolkit has access to. So now I'm going to show you the exact API for the NCA toolkit. So this is the API request. So we have this video URL, we have these settings, and you can just take a screenshot for this. And now I'm going to run the add subtitle. So it's going to take about 2 minutes more, and it's going to give us the video. So this took about 3 minutes to run. And now we're going to head to our next node. So this gave us the file with the subtitle. It actually stored it here, which is our mini IO S3 store. So now what I'm going to do is come here, and it's going to take the title and give us a description. And this is the exact prompt. And I also told it to give us emojis, so it's more good. So this is how the description is going to look, and you can actually tell it to add more things. For example, if you are running this channel already and you want it to say some specific things in the description, your links or something, you can just give it here and specifically ask the AI to include that. Do not mess that up, right? So that's how you can tell it. So the next is that you just set the YouTube video details. Now you're just going to get the video, and I'm going to show you the video right now. The final video with the subtitles. So it's a 30 megabyte video. So that's how big it is, right? So now these two steps are not doing anything except that when you get any file from the S3 store, what it actually tells you is that the MIME type is binary octet stream. But YouTube, this node, and even the platform does not accept that type. So this type is not correct. And it was MP4 before, and even when we stored it here, for example, here you'll see in the NCA toolkit, it was MP4. But for some reason, this store just turns it into this kind of file type. So that's why what we do is actually turn it to a base64 string. Then we convert the base64 string back to file. So essentially, we're turning this video into another thing, and then turning that another thing into the same video. But when we get that video, you will see that it is a different type. So after playing around for a bit, I actually removed those two nodes and actually changed it with the drive nodes, because then you can offload the computation to drive. You don't want to make your system heavy. So now let me show you why we do this. So when you go here and see the file, you see that the MIME type is binary octet stream. And then in the drive, you see you get the same file, you get the binary octet stream. But when you download the file again from drive and you see the next node, or you can just see it here, you'll see the MIME type is video MP4. So that's what you need. And that's what the YouTube node accepts. It won't accept the binary octet type. It's just going to throw you an error. And now you can just step this and you'll see the video is uploaded. And then this step will actually update the sheet. So it just come here and then make it publish. And you can see as I published one before. So what it's actually going to do is just click on this and turn it on. So that's how, so what it's actually going to do is come here and turn this to publish. So that's how this entire system works. So it's just completely autopilot. You just schedule a time and it just runs on that time and does the entire thing and then just uploads it to YouTube. And if you want to do the thumbnail, I have given you the link. Personally, I would not do it, at least yet. Or if I get some great API and edit the image, for example, let me show you how you can do that too. So you can just make an image with some ComfyUI or something with some specific model, and then you have this edit image node. So you can actually add stuff on it. You can see apply text to image. So you can do a few of these things here, and that's going to be your thumbnail, and you can update it. So that will be all for this video. Join the community if you want to learn how to make these advanced agents, viral SaaS, and all the high-ticket digital AI products, and get these exclusive workflows as well. So see you in the next video.